Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today we are going to look at the problems in America. What is the truth behind the trade deficit? What is the truth? Okay, so we've already established that the Trump administration is lying about the trade deficit. He's lying about the figures that he's using in his retaliatory tariffs. Are lies. Look at the numbers. You can go look at actual government statistics websites if you really want to pick it apart. Go do that. I would encourage you to. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up. You will see that what he's projecting are lies. Enough of that. Okay, what are the problems in America? There's a lot, okay? For our country to get the point where our president has said that America has been defeated by the whole world and the government needs to step in and reset American business, American trade, that the government needs to step in and put these kinds of controls to protect our country, means he is saying that America entrepreneurship, America business, for one reason or another, he is saying that that is failed, has failed. He's declared an emergency to do the tariffs and things he's doing. So he basically is saying that America is going down and we have failed, and he has conceded defeat. We're getting into all this emergency action tariff, this, that, and the other, which is being challenged in court because some people, some states, some things don't believe what he's saying. Let's look at two parts we're going to look at today, and I'm probably going to break this into 2 or 3 videos just to shorten it up for you guys' attention spans. And do a part 1, part 2, maybe part 3. Part 1 of this video is discussing why America can't compete with the rest of the world. If we had the best products, if we had the best prices, we would have the best sales. Everyone would want our stuff. We wouldn't be in this problem. We wouldn't have deficits. If people wanted to buy American, and they could, we wouldn't have this problem. So let's take a look at why we can't compete. Number 1, America is too expensive. People around the world cannot afford American goods. Most people cannot afford American goods. Even you look at America. Americans are complaining about the prices. You're complaining about the prices when everything is shipped in cheaper from China, from Mexico, from wherever. You were complaining about those prices being too expensive at the store. America, the richest country in the world, and the Americans are saying we can't afford to buy Chinese stuff, we can't afford to buy Mexican stuff. Well, you can't afford American stuff either, and nobody else can. And here's part of the reason why. Take a look at this chart. You can see, and this is going back to 1968, and you can see CEO makes 21 times the hourly wage of the employee. So in a hypothetical scenario where you have 400 employees or 400 people, you can have 379 employees, 1 CEO. And now you flash forward to today. You can have 1 CEO making 399 times what the employees make, and that leaves you enough money for 1 employee. That doesn't work. Okay, so you see that chart. Obviously, you don't have 389 employees and 1 CEO, and now you have 1 CEO and 1 employee. But that's to show you the disparity in wages and how much the CEO pay has gone up. They did not get rid of the 388 employees and only leave you 1. They sent those employees to China, to India, to wherever there's cheap labor, and they took the savings from that, which could have been to better pay their employees. It could have been to lower the costs of products. Instead, it went to raising the CEO pay. That is just one piece of the puzzle on why nobody can afford to buy American, because our CEOs are ridiculously overpaid, and that goes into the price of every American product, and nobody can afford it. So if you want to make America more competitive with the world, fix the CEO pay. Fix that. That's a start. And that's real, and that's something that could be done. Are they going to? No, because Americans aren't going to demand it, because they have you trained to think China's bad, it's all China's fault. Everything is somebody else's fault. Okay, we are the helpless victim because we obviously are just sitting here, can't do anything. we're not America anymore. We're just like nothing, I guess. We've given up on the world, and we can't do anything, according to Trump anyways. That's why the federal government has to have an emergency and step in, is that we can't do anything. And the problem is that we're not doing anything. It's not that we can't, it's that we're not. That's my rant on that, and it's based on facts. Like it or not, it is based on the truth and facts. We bring these problems onto ourselves, and there's no one else to blame for this but America. So that's where that is. Now let's look at another chart.
This chart is comparing American consumers to Chinese consumers and European Union consumers. And if you look at in the red at almost $19 billion, that's what Americans are spending on junk every year. American consumers, 19 billion. The next is almost 7 billion, and that's China. Think how many more people China has than America, but they're spending the least. And here, almost 10 billion, and that is the European Union. So if you add those two together and stack them up, between those two, they don't spend as much as the American consumer. We buy too much junk.
Well, you've had a look at that chart. As you can see, American consumers are buying more than twice as much stuff as China and the European Union combined. Okay, we're buying 2 hamburgers and fries. They're buying 1 hamburger. Okay, so now let's erase all the trade tariffs, all the stuff that Trump or anyone else says is unfair. Throw that out the window. Pretend this is a perfect world and everything is great. Everyone is equal. What are you going to do to fix it? Okay, we're buying twice as much as both of them combined. Okay, but to make fair trade, you have to separate this out and look at each one. So here's what America is buying. Here's what China is buying. Either we have to buy less or China has to buy more to meet in the middle. America here, European Union here. Do we buy less? Do we get the European Union to buy more? Can we tell China? Can we tell the European Union that since we bought twice as much junk, you are now obligated, we're going to force you, our President Trump is going to force you to buy twice as much stuff as you do, just because that's what we're doing. The question is, are you, if you're an American, are you going to stop buying stuff? I mean, just stop buying stuff. Or are you going to sit here and say, I'm an American, you Chinaman, you European Union, you Germany, you whoever, you have to start buying twice as much stuff just because we do? If that doesn't sound completely ridiculous to you, then there's no point in watching these videos from this point on, because you're not going to get it and you don't understand and you need to go back to school. And that's just kind of how that is. Point blank, very blunt, but that's what it is. We buy twice as much as they do. How do you balance that? Put it in the comments. I want to know how do you think we're going to, in the real world, in Trump's world, how are we going to balance these trades with countries that consume half as much as we do? They don't need as much junk. Okay, in America, you buy your house, you fill it full of junk, and then when your house is full, you go rent a storage building, and then you fill it full of junk, and you have junk, and you have junk, and you have junk. The rest of the world's not doing that kind of stuff. That's like an American thing. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna look back at ourselves and introspect on ourselves and fix what we're doing wrong, or are we gonna just sit here and say, we're America, we want the rest of the world to be just like us and do exactly what we're doing, or else? Because that's freedom, right? Okay, like, follow, share, any of those things you want. You disagree, you agree, you have something to say, you don't like my math, you see something different in this, put it in the comments. I'm open to listen, to hear, to whatever you got to say. Put it in the comments. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll have more topics, similar topic, different angles, different aspects of that for next time. Bye-bye, guys.
We're taking all our money, instead of saving for retirement, saving for emergencies, we spend all our money. Okay, Americans are financially illiterate. They're dumb. They spend all their money. They're not good at saving for retirement or emergencies or any of that stuff. The other people, they may be, or who knows where their money's going. I don't know, but I can tell you that's another problem for another video in America.